Hello, my name is Brian. This is my game dev live stream number 71. I am working on a puzzle platformer game with Unity game engine, and the working title of the game is ChronoPlatformer. This week I'm working on containers, and specifically today I worked on wrapping up the container limits and drawing some coins for items to go into the chest. And I want to work on a little bit of UI. So let me start off with the work that I did on the container limits. So I already have in the container contents scriptable object, I have this thing called container capacity, but I wasn't checking it before I was adding and removing items. So really I only have to check when I add an item. So I see if the count is less than the capacity, then we can add it. Otherwise we log a warning and we say cannot add this item to this container, and we give the names of the things and we say it is full. When we remove an item, if remove returns false, that means it didn't work, either because that item wasn't in the container or just because it failed to remove it. Then we have contains item, nothing changed here, and these ones were already set up correctly, but get max capacity just returns the container capacity from the scriptable object. Get remaining capacity does the max minus the current count. So if the max is 3 and there's 2 things in there, we have 1 left. It would probably also be useful to have a function here like get current fill count or something like that, and this can just return contents data dot contents dot count. Replace these guys up here with the appropriate functions. Want to use functions where we can, don't repeat yourself. Okay. Follow container limits. Check that in. Alright, so the rest of the work that I did was started by doing some research into Roman currency. So there's lots of different types of coins. Looking at the Augustan values, this is the time frame where Pompeii occurred during. It was 79 AD, I believe. So I want to have 3 different coins. We have the sestertius, the denarius, and the aureus. And so the aureus is a gold coin, the denarius is a silver coin, and then the sestertius is the brass coin. It's related to the other ones, like so. 4 sestertius makes up a denarius, and 25 denarius makes up an aureus. So these seem like good ratios to hand out coins in, right? We have like a 1, a 4, and then a 100 worth object. So we can give it an Aureus whenever we want to have 100 Sestertius, and a Denarius whenever we want to have 4. And lots of different kinds of coins. Quadrans, semis, as, dupondius, sestertius, quinarius, argentius, denarius, quinarius, aureus. These are like, I think this means half or something, because it's half of an aureus, and an argentus. Well, there's no argentus. I don't know, but it is half of a denarius. So I made some coins that kind of represent these. Over here is the sestertius, it's the brass coin, and then we have the silver coin and the gold coin. And they're not great, but I just drew a little bit here. And they've got some nicks in them and stuff. They're all the same. I just copied them and then I like painted over with the better colors, and you can tell. So I threw that into Unity. I made a new folder called items. I moved the item data script over to here. I made a Sestertius data, Denarius data, and an Aureus data, and then I hooked up the sprites here up to those data objects. Added new sprites and item data for coins. Check that in. So with a little bit of time I have left, I want to have some sort of UI to show the chest contents, and so I can go over to UI design. I've got this, and so I'm thinking that the UI is made up of like this little triangle piece here, and then it's made up of like a side cap like that. And then it's made up of some number of these things. And it's made up with another end cap here. And so that way we can scale it really easily. I think that would be handy. Can be modular. We can check and see how many I'm struggling a bit here. How many items are in the chest? And we always do one more square than that. I'm gonna resize this to 64 by 64. Okay, so that's one cap. And we can make it a bit bigger. 256. 192. And 64 minus 16. 24 over 216. So we're going to save this under Assets, UI, Containers, and then we'll call this Container UI Bubble. It's a multiple sprite. We've got our 28 pixels per unit. Gonna make sure the filter mode is point and the compression is none. Apply that. Go to the sprite editor and we'll slice this up using cell count. We've got 4 columns and 1 row, so we will slice it. This first one is, we'll call this Container UI Bubble left edge, middle, right edge, and then this last one can be like pointer. I'll say starting work on Container UI. Finished up container capacity checking, added better logging logging warnings for container script, learned about Roman currency, drew some Roman currency coins, made the item data for those coins, made a sprite sheet for the container UI. Next time, putting together the UI. Alright, thanks for watching this right now. If you're watching this and hearing me talk, it means you're probably on YouTube. So, I appreciate your time. As always, have a nice night. Bye.